First impression is like a trailer to the movie. If the trailer sucks, no matter how good this movie is, people will not go and watch it in a theater. The same thing with communication. You can be a great person, but if you fail to make a good first impression, the chance that the other person will give you a second chance is very, very small. No matter if it's a job interview, a date, or you're just meeting new people. So in this video, I want to talk about two things. First of all, is what a first impression is and what it consists of. And the second thing is how to make a killer first impression. And maybe in the future, when you meet this person for the second time, third time, you'll completely mess things up. You know, everything will go straight to hell. But dang, that first impression that you're going to make is gonna be unforgettable. My name is Nikita, and here I talk about practical communication skills for everyday life. Without further ado, let's roll. So first of all, let's talk about what first impression consists of. There are two things that you need to establish if you want to make a good first impression. First of all is warmth. You need to show that you're positive towards those people. Why is it important to show warmth? Well, imagine if you introduce yourself like this. Hello. Well, it doesn't really look like a good first impression, right? The explanation to that is that long time ago, when we were cavemen, even before the Stone Age, the first thing that people would pay attention to is that if you were a friend or a foe. And that's why the first thing that you need to show that you're a friend. And there's also a second thing that you need to show. Competence. Why competence? Well, people want to be in a team with competent people. No one wants to be in a team with weak people. If you're going on a date, you want your significant other to be competent. No matter if it's a guy or a girl, right? If you want to do a business with a person, you also want to know that this person is competent and will be able to make his part of a deal. And also in casual situations. If you just meet a new person, you want to know what this person does, right? And if the person does something cool, the person is competent, well, you value this person more. Because if you just meet another person and you ask what this person does for a living, or, just what he does in general, and he'll tell, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just watching Netflix and playing World of Warcraft all day. He might be showing warm signs, right? Nothing really wrong with that. Pretty nice guy, but what's the point of this connection then, right? This connection doesn't really have any value. So those are two things that you need to establish: warmth and competence. The next question is, how can you show that you're warm and competent? There are three channels that we use when we're communicating with people. Number one, verbal, what we say. Number two, paraverbal, how we say it, our tonality. And number three, nonverbal, our body language, how we look. And when you're making a first impression, it happens in two phases. First of all, before you open your mouth, and second, after you open your mouth. Well, think about it, it makes total sense, right? First of all, you analyze how the person looks, how the person carries himself, how he walks. This person hasn't really said anything, but you're already making some sort of a first impression of this person. And then the person introduces himself, and then you make even a deeper impression of this person. So first of all, let's talk about how to make a good first impression before you're opening your mouth. In this case, we cannot really use verbal channel or paraverbal channel because we're not really saying anything. So the only way how we can communicate with another person is through nonverbal communication, through our body language. So first of all, let's talk about how you show warmth. You show warmth in nonverbal communication by, first of all, being in a good mood. I know that there are a lot of people who teach how to show warmth by, using specific hand gestures or body language. But in my opinion, instead of trying to memorize all of those things, that you have to stand like this, show open palms, that you're not really carrying anything, right? Things like that. Everything comes from within. So if you are in a good mood, people will see that you're in a good mood. So instead of trying to memorize, I have to stand like this, just be positive inside, okay? When you're going to meet this person, have some positive intentions inside, and you will not have to fake anything. So you'll be in a good mood, and when you see another person, just smile. Boom, like that. Very simple. The next thing is to show competence. Look, before you're opening your mouth, people don't really know how competent you are. So what they're doing, they're scanning to see if you're confident. Because think about it. If another person says something and says it confidently, sometimes he can say complete crap, complete bullshit. But some people will believe this person because this person states this in a very, very confident way. Look guys, what I'm holding here is literally a time machine. People have been solving the Rubik's Cube faster and faster each and every year. And maybe in 5 or 10 years, we will be able to solve the Rubik's Cube in negative time. Which means that if we want to travel back in time, maybe to 5,000 years, 2,000 years, all we need to do just to solve the Rubik's Cube maybe 5 or 3 million times, yes, that's a lot, but we will be able to go back in time to those 200, 300 years, meet Napoleon, and get answers from one of the emperors of the world. And the same thing here. If you want to look as a confident person, you have to carry yourself in a confident way. So it's all about your posture and also looking good for an occasion. There are different occasions and you have to dress appropriately for this occasion. Because if you're not really dressed appropriately for the occasion, well, some people might criticize you for that. So do those things and you will make a good first impression before you open your mouth. But then you will come closer to this person and you will start saying something. And when you start interacting with the person, you also have to establish those two things once again: warmth and competence. First of all, let's talk about warmth. Warmth in a verbal way. Verbal way, what you say. Well, here it's very, very simple. All you need to say is something like, hey, nice to meet you. Here you're showing your appreciation and warmth towards this person. If you feel more confident and if it's appropriate, you also can make a compliment to the person. Maybe if it's a host, you can say, hey, such a nice place you have here. By doing that, you're also giving them a warmth sign that you like them. The second thing, paraverbal way. Paraverbal way is how you say it. So you need to say hi in a warm way, right? Because if you just say, hey, yeah, hi, nice to meet you. Well, you don't really sound like a warm person, And in a nonverbal way, just stand straight. Your body should be positioned toward this person. Maybe you can be a little bit leaned when you're shaking the hand, things like that. Do not really try to overcomplicate those things, right? Because you'll still will not be able to remember all of those things at the same time, right? But just show that you're interested. And the second thing that you need to establish is competence. So how you establish competence when you're opening your mouth? First of all, nonverbal way. In nonverbal way, you just need to maintain an eye contact. When you're looking at the eyes of the person, right? When you're saying hello, when you greet, when you talk to the person, right? Maintaining an eye contact shows that you're confident. Look, you do not have to stare at this person 24/7, 100% of the conversation like that, not even blink, like drilling, it's like, I see you, I'm paying attention. No, of course not, right? Well, like right now, right? I'm not looking away, right? You might feel a little bit uncomfortable maybe. Well, maybe not, but just because, you're there on the screen, on the second part of an internet, so you're safe. Maybe. By maintaining eye contact, you're showing that you're confident. Because if the person looks at you and you're like, yeah, right? See, I'm even showing with my body language that I'm not really confident because right now my shoulders are just, close to my ears like that and I'm looking away, shy, nervousness. This person doesn't really look like a confident person, right? Like, yeah, hello. No. Look, you can say hello in a warm and confident way at the same time. Basically, it will be like, yeah, hello, nice to meet you, right? I'm showing at the same time that I'm positive towards you and also that I'm confident, right? I'm not like, yeah, hello, yeah, nice to meet you. Or, yeah, hello, no. Hey, nice to meet you, right? I'm not aggressive, I'm confident. And confident equals competence. And the last thing, obviously, is verbal. Verbal is what you say. Here, what you will say, of course, will depend on the situation. It all starts with understanding what's the goal of this communication. Because, for instance, if this is a business meeting, you want to introduce yourself to the person so this person will know, how you can work together, how you can cooperate, maybe do some things together, right? How you can be useful to this person. However, if I'm on a date with a spicy señorita and she asks me, hey, so what are you doing? And I'll just start telling you, hey, you know what? I play video games all day. Right? In a very warm and competent way. Well, it's not really what she wants to hear, to be really honest with you. So overall here, there's no universal tip what to say specifically, but one tip that I can give you is that think about this goal of the meeting and think about this beforehand. Do not really overthink it. Do not really have a prepared speech for that, right? But just think about, hey, so what do I have to say so I'll make a good first impression, right? Just spend 3-4 minutes thinking about it and you're good. So in a conclusion, to make a good first impression, you need to establish two things: warmth and competence. You do it not only when you open your mouth, but even before you're opening your mouth. That's when communication really starts. And you do that through 3 channels: verbal channel, nonverbal channel, and paraverbal channel. Do those things, practice a little bit, and then when it's the time to make a good first impression, you'll stray. And you make it, unforgettable. Okay? This is it for today. My name is Nikita, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.